when you look at college football, you kind of mentioned it, just how big it's grown from when you played to what you see now, and just, I mean, the ratings and the CFP and everything, all the money that goes into it. How has the game changed?
The biggest thing is all that, but I wish I had NIL. If I would have had that back in the day, I won the championship as a sophomore. I had 2 more years at Alabama. I cannot imagine name, image, and likeness what could have happened those 2 years with different events, signing sessions, corporate sponsorship type opportunities and stuff, even then. But probably the transfer portal is one of the biggest too, because now you can say, okay, I want to go play somewhere else. And for some guys, I mean, that's a good thing. I personally, and Antonio and I have talked about this a lot, we believe in competition. You go, you compete, you just keep working and try to make it, or at least graduate, then transfer. But now they've opened up this kind of free agency. That's just, I don't know if it's going to be those 2 things, transfer portal, NIL, still not sure whether that's going to be a good thing or end up being something that we look back on and go, why do we do that?
I think that's the biggest change just over the years, especially at quarterback. When you have you're playing both guys before week 4 to keep both happy so they don't leave. That I don't like that about college football, but that's the biggest flip from 25 years ago to now.
Yeah, because if you leave after 3, you can transfer and you get that year back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and you could walk, and if you're not happy after being recruited, the de-recruitment happens.
Right.
But there's really no more of that, because you have to keep all these young guys happy so they don't bolt.
Yeah. It's different. I mean, look, again, for some guys it's going to be a great opportunity. For others, I think if you look at the transfer portal, there were like thousands in it last year. And some of those guys may not get back to what they had at a full scholarship. They had a chance to go get an education. I think we forget about what, the student athlete, there's, less than 2% are going to make it to the next level. So take advantage of this. Take advantage of the opportunity to network, to get to know people, to meet all the people in your class, to really develop those friendships that can be lasting. I mean, all my friendships in college are the ones that are not saying most important, but they have been the lasting. I have a few really close high school friends, but the college experience was the best years of my life. I mean, it really was. I mean, just some of the funnest times. No worries about, food and, worried about a roof over your head or paying bills. All that was taken care of by the scholarship. And I just think the guys today and kids growing up today need to appreciate that as much as anything else. Is just that they're getting that education, and that's going to take them a long way.
Jay, I want to get into Gene Stallings in a minute, but first, take us down memory lane on campus. Who was the Alabama legend that you saw on campus you were playing? You were like, wow, I'm speaking to this guy.
So probably the 2, or the one that memory that I have the most, we had the 1992 summer. It was the celebration of the century. So it was the 100 years of Alabama football. So they did the century team, and we went to Birmingham, and it was at the BJC or the BJCC, that area there, that conference room. So they bring in the century team, and I'm there as about to be 1992 quarterback. This is the summer before the championship game. Tuxedo, my parents are there. They invited us to come because I was the quarterback, and I got to sit next to Joe Namath and Kenny Stabler, and they got my picture made with Joe Namath and Kenny Stabler. We're all in tux. They made a big picture about it, and then it's up in a lot of places all over, the Southeast or Alabama, and I've definitely got my copy, and I've had many people want me to sign that for them. But for me, that was like, I could not believe I was standing between these 2 Hall of Famers.
In the moment, you realize it.
Oh, yeah.
At that age, I'm a part of this fraternity somehow. Did you
not
feel?
Not really, to a degree. Okay. But I didn't feel nothing like them. I felt like
I shouldn't be here.
Right, exactly, yeah. But then as time went on and spending time with them more and more, just both great guys, so supportive. Kenny passed a while back, and he was always so encouraging. When I was a player, Joe was the same way. Stedman Shealy was kind of my hero, and Jeff Rutledge as well, because not only because of how they played the game, but also because of their faith, and just really outspoken about that. So that really encouraged me as a young person. Major Ogilvie was actually my favorite player. I wore number 42 all the way through Little League, and I'd actually make tearaway jerseys at my house. I'd like cut them up so they'd tear away.
No flags, tearaways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was for backyard football.
Absolutely.
It wasn't for on the field regulation, I guess. But some really great players have come through here and have been an inspiration to all the guys before them. And as a player, when I got there, I was like, man, I want to win a national championship to bring it back to Alabama. I had the Bear Bryant posters up in my room. I was a huge Alabama fan growing up. My mom and dad were the same. They weren't over the top where they were degrading the players or whatever else, but they loved Coach Bryant. They loved University of Alabama, and I had a chance to fulfill that dream. It was amazing.